everyone, welcome to our YouTube channel. Today we are going to discuss about 5-why analysis, which is one of the important tools of root cause investigation. Learning outcome will be introduction of 5-why analysis, the process of 5-why analysis, example showing different number of why, steps of why analysis, example of Whytree, example of why analysis, explanation of each why of why analysis, another example of 5-why analysis, benefits of 5-why analysis. Now I will start my today's topic with the introduction of 5-why analysis. 5-whys or 5-why analysis technique is the simplest method of finding the root causes of any incident or accident. This technique is a brainstorming model for solving the problem and finding the root cause of the accident. It was developed by Sakichi Toyoda, who is the founder of Toyota Industries. It was invented in the 1930s but became popular in the 70s. It is still used today by Toyota for problem solving. This technique is also now used within Kaizen, Leanmanufacturing and Sixsigma. This technique works on go and see philosophy, and their decision making is based on the practicalities and not theoretical remarks or assumptions. This is the photo of Sakichi Toyoda, who is the developer of 5-why analysis. He was born in 1867 at Shizuoka in Japan and died in 1930. He was the founder of Toyota Industries, Toyota Groups and Toyota Boshoko Corporation. This is the process of 5-why analysis, stating how we carry out 5-why analysis. The process of this technique involves asking why 5 times or more, each time making another why on the answer to the previous question until the root cause of the problem is identified. In this technique, firstly we start with the incident and ask why. Then thought process is drawn in mind as mind map or a causation tree. Then responses to the question why is simply captured as a chain. After that, decision making is done on the basis of an in-depth understanding of what's actually happened at the time of the accident, rather than what workers or manager who is present there thinks might have happened. In this way, it helps in finding the actual scene of the accident, the actual reason and person who is actually at the fault. But remember that it is not necessary that the number of why question will always remain 5, as their number will may increase or decrease depending on the questions asked. Now I will explain that the number of why may vary during carrying why analysis. These are two examples of why analysis showing different number of whys. In theory, why analysis takes 5 whys to get to the root cause, but in practice there will be cases where we may use more or fewer than 5 whys as shown in these examples. Example 1. Jack fell from the scaffold is the incident here. We will start why analysis by asking why. First we will ask why Jack fell from the scaffold. Because there was no guardrail on that bit. But why? Because it had been removed to allow a load to be lifted up. Why? Because loading is done by telehandler. Why? There was no lift. Why? Lifts are expensive. Now we will proceed to example 2. Going back to the incident again. Jack fell from the scaffold is the incident. But why this incident happened? Because he wasn't clipped onto the scaffold. Why? Because they aren't always worn harnesses. Why? Because they are seen as awkward and slow the job down. Why? Because there is pressure to get to the next job. We have seen here in example 1, the number of whys used for finding the root cause is 5, and in example 2, the number of whys used for finding the root cause is 4. In this way, we can say that in practices, number of whys varies as per the problem occurred. So we have to shoot why until we get the real root cause of the problem. These are the steps of Fifthwhy analysis. Step 1 is come to an agreement regarding the problem. Until and unless we not define the problem properly, solving it is like going to an uphill task. So we spend some time ensuring that we have defined the problem really well. If we detail the definition of the problem, it will become the easier for us to solve it. Step 2 is shoot the whys. We check one layer at a time and keep shooting a why as soon as we come across a problem at every level. Step 3 is determine if a cause is the actual root cause. Every time we come across a cause, we stop there and take some time to analyze if that is the root cause or not. Remember, steps 2 and 3 will have a symbiotic relationship throughout. So we may have to repeat these a couple of times before coming to a conclusion about the actual root cause. We have to make sure that we ask the why questions until we get to the root cause. Step 4 is fix the cause and eliminate the symptom. Last step is fixing the problem, but we have to remember that fixing problem alone by their symptoms, that is immediate cause, will not going to give us the real value. So we have to pay attention for fixing the error and the cause at their root level so that we can prevent any future occurrences of the problem. This is an example of Whytree. In this, the problem identified is operator failed to shut down the system. We, after finding the problem, try to find the cause of this problem by asking first why. The cause of this problem was found that the operator did not receive indication of problem. Now we further try to find all the causes of this action by asking second why. Here two causes are found for why operator did not receive indication of problem. The first cause was because temperature transmitter failed, and second cause was no other temperature alarms were provided as same transmitter supplied for signal to the controller and the alarms. For first cause, we now ask why temperature transmitter failed. The answer is because temperature transmitter was not included in the periodic maintenance program. Now we further ask why for finding why this was not included. There were two reasons for this action. First was because maintenance personnel did not include the device in the pre-planned maintenance scheduling system, and another cause was that the compliance audit did not identify the program deficiency. Then we asked why temperature transmitter is not included in the process system information. We also find the cause why compliance audit did not identify the program deficiency by asking why. We found the cause. The scope of compliance audits by choice do not thoroughly audit to this level of detail. Now we proceed to the second cause listed in the beginning and ask why no other temperature alarms were provided. We found the two causes. One was because hazard and operability team did not identify an unaccepted risk. Another one was because designer did not believe on independent transmitter for alarm was necessary. Now we try to find the cause of why HAZOP team did not identify the risk. Because company risk matrix categorized this type of occurrence as a low risk not requiring a specific action. Then we try to find the cause of why designer did not believe an independent transmitter for alarm was necessary. Because company standard do not require or recommend redundant devices in this situation. Here, third and fourth why were asked for going deeper into the problem, and mind mapping was done for finding the final root cause. The circles shown in this picture are showing the root causes for this incident. The organization has to take steps for removing this so that the reoccurrence of this incident can be prevented. Let us see another example. Here machine failure is a problem. The first why is why the machine failed. It failed due to improper installation. The second why is why was the machine not installed properly due to lack of training. The third why is the training not given on new machine installation. Missed the training on the recent installation. The fourth why is why the training was missed due to improper SOPs. The fifth why is why SOPs are not updated. Updated training SOP record was missing. The root cause identified is that the machine failed due to the missing SOP record. Explanation of each why of why analysis. After seeing these two examples, we can say that the first why is a clear statement of the reason for the defect or failure that has occurred. The answer of this why is simple and easy, as the reason found by this why is also understood by people who is not familiar with the operation where the problem took place. We have to remember that this first why must be kept short, concise, a sentence that only explain the reason. Here there is no need to justify, as this can be done in later stage. The second why is a more concise explanation to support the first statement. This why help in getting to the technical arena. The explanation may branch out to several different root causes here. The third why is critical for successful transition between obvious and not so obvious. The first two why help in preparing on the area where the problem could have originated, but the last three whys help in taking deeper comprehension of the problem. It visualizes the underlying causes. The fourth why focuses on cause and effect analysis. Here we try to find two or more different avenues which may lead to continuous improvement. Candid approach is followed during this stage. The fifth why answer to the final conclusion of the root cause due to which the incident has happened. It detects the area that may be under the same situation even if there are no reported issues yet. The final conclusion is taken on the basis of the reasons obtained by asking the fifth why. Lastly, we have to remember, if we have reached to fifth why and still dealing with process related causes, we may have to dive into one or two more why to dive into the systematic cause. Look at this example. The problem here is the worker loses the tip of his finger when it is pinched between a drive belt and an unguarded pulley. Here we start 5 why analysis for this problem by asking first why finger crushed, because finger is caught between belt and pulley. Second why finger caught between the belt and the pulley. Answer is guard on the pulley was missing. Third why guard missing. Answer is mechanic failed or unnoticed to attach the guard after maintenance activity. Fourth why was it overlooked? Answer is there is no equipment servicing checklist. Fifth why was no checklist? Answer is no hazards assessment was completed. Now I will discuss the benefits of why analysis. These are the benefits of 5 why analysis: effectiveness, reliable, flexibility, engaging, inexpensive, simplicity, comprehensiveness. Now I will explain one by one. Effectiveness. The 5 why techniques more effective as it helps to quickly separate symptoms from causes and identify the root cause. Reliable. The 5 whys technique is reliable as it is carried out by thorough examination and decision is taken after interviewing the workers, so the results comes is accurate and reliable if the workers give correct responses. Flexibility. The 5 why technique is flexible as it can work well alone and also work well when combined with other methods. Engaging. The 5 whys technique is engaging as it helps in encouraging or promoting team collaboration and involvement, as during this process it requires the input and cooperation of all team members to arrive at the root cause. Inexpensive. The 5 whys technique is inexpensive as it is guided, team focused exercise with no additional cost. Simplicity. The 5 why technique is simple as it is easy to use and requires no advanced mathematics or tools for calculation. Comprehensiveness. The 5 whys technique is comprehensive as it helps to determine relationship between various problem causes in a comprehensive way. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.